How are you this morning? Happy hump day. Here we are. It's another hump day. I'm excited to be here. It's so good to uh, be alive. It's good to be upright and breathing. It's very wonderful to be in the space of I'm here, I am here, I am here, like Horton Hears a Who. We are here. I am here, I am here, I am here, and I'm really grateful that you're here too. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Hump Day. It is Wednesday. I'm in Pacific time, so it's in the morning. Hello to you wherever you are. Good afternoon, good evening, maybe in the wee hours of the night even. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Valerie Shepard. I'm Dr. Valerie Shepard. I'm the founder and CEO of the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. And if you haven't heard me talk about self-mastery before, the definition is mastering you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. Whether the things in your life are like storybook, fairy tale, yummy, delicious, awesome, yay, or whether they're kind of things that make you go, like me, this past weekend, I was really excited about going to an event. And I got there, and because I was thinking about it the way the event had been run in the past and hadn't read the details on the way the event was being run this year, I went without food thinking it was going to be a feast that was served, and it was a feast that we were serving ourselves. It was a potluck, and I hadn't brought any food. And I took a picture of myself making this face like, when you find out you're attending a potluck and you didn't bring any food. So fortunately, my life also in that day of, whoops, I didn't do what I was supposed to do or needed to do or could have done to make this more spectacular. I was in the company of some wonderful, generous souls who invited me to join and experience and benefit from what they had brought. So that was awesome. So the way our lives happen, the ways that our lives are happening, unfolding, giving us opportunities to see ourselves in action. What I noticed about myself at that moment was, I'm very resilient. So as soon as I noticed it, I was like, okay, so can I get out my phone and figure out where there's some place that I can get some food and bring it back? So that's number one, grocery store, restaurant. So looking at options, also known as possibilities. What more is possible in this moment of, what more is possible? How can I be a version of me that actually rises to this occasion and like pluses it up? It doesn't always have to start at an exquisite moment, right? Our lives bring us all kinds of things, and we could start way down here or way down there. And the idea is, yeah, that's it. So what? Now what? So I was thinking about, good morning, I see you out there. Type in where you're from and type in what's the most exciting thing you're going to do today. For me, this is it. I have another exciting thing this afternoon, but I think this is even more exciting. So once I decided, okay, I'll go get some food, then I could also feel the negative or the low vibration self-recrimination. Yeah, it's even bringing up some energy, some emotional energy right now. I can feel the sadness. I can feel the part of me that is like embarrassed. I didn't do it right. I didn't do it well. And I was there with all these people who had done it right, whatever that means, who had followed, who had read the directions, and they'd gotten coordinated, and they brought tablecloths and food and all this stuff, and I brought a lot and not that. And I could feel, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. And then to actually declare that, like to mention to one of my friends there, I didn't bring any food. I totally did not get that this was a potluck, right? So my life gave me an opportunity to stand in whatever the negative feelings were, whatever the low vibration feelings were, and not judge them, just experience them. And then call the ball. That's a Navy term. It's make a decision. Like, don't beat myself up incessantly. Just make a decision. And my friend helped me make a decision. He said, we have plenty. We have plenty. Just join us this time. Just join our feast. And I said, well, I was going to go to the grocery store and buy a couple things. He's like, just join us. And that's what I did. And it turned out great. So that's a quick little story of self-mastery in action. Our lives bring us all these opportunities, and not all of them are yabba dabba do. And what do we do in those moments? And I had a spectacular day. I think I've posted some photos. I don't remember. I think I posted some photos. I had a great day, played games, ate food, ate 2 helpings, went back to the little buffet twice, let go of the guilt and shame, offered a little money to the people who had brought the food, and danced in community and in a nice full tummy on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. So I offer that to you as an example of what self-mastery is. When I say, the Hartley Center is all about helping you see yourself and be yourself, the true self, and be that in all the different dynamics, difficult people, difficult situations, making mistakes, having failures, being sick, having a disability, whatever those situations are that are a part of your life. That's what we help you dance with. Dance in the energy of, how do I make this even better than it already is? This or something better. Thank you. Please. So here we are for another Hump Day Happy Chat. We're on number 172. Yes. And the question is, are you living it? Yes. And are you living it? So we'll get into that. If you're listening to the replay, I'd love for you to hashtag replay. Come on over and join us in the Bliss Collective. We do more of this every day. We're a community on a mission to create a movement that's all about more peace, love, joy, and freedom on the planet, emotional freedom on the planet, spiritual freedom on the planet, starting with ourselves. One person at a time. I heal me. My healing changes the world. Your healing changes the world. Everywhere we go as healed beings, our energy field is a higher vibration. That higher vibration supports higher vibration activation and transmittal and transformation everywhere we go. That's why it's so important to be more focused, or at least as focused on what's going on in here as what's going on out there. So we can help you do that. Come play with us on this bliss quest. And to help you with a bliss quest and about what we're talking about today, we have a challenge, and I'll tell you more about that later. Right now, let's talk about this idea of yes, and are you living it? Are you living it? Are you going beyond mental, conceptual cognition and understanding into embodied practice? In my 4-step process that's in my book, Living Happy to Be Me, which is back here, Dancing Your Soul Lifestyle, I lay out 4 steps that I've distilled from all the different teachings, all the different practices, all the different coaches, all the different workshops, retreats, the thousands and thousands of dollars I spent over decades of doing self-development work, personal development work. I distilled that down into what seemed to me to be what all of them were saying. That's not to say you don't need all of them. I'm just saying I got to this place where I wanted to see how things connected, and I created a system that worked for me. And I share that in my book and my teachings. So there are 4 steps. And I always say the step 4 is the most crucial. It's the most crucial step. Why? Step 4 is called take up the reins and go live it. Take up the reins, as in reins you would have on a horse. I love horseback riding. take up the reins. You have to take up the reins if you're going to be riding that horse somewhere. I guess you could ride bareback and hold on to its mane. I'm not that good a rider, so reins really help me and the horse have a conversation about direction, and uh, um, that the reins are working for me. So take up the reins and go live it. Step 4, go live it. Why is it the most crucial step? Because knowing, cognition, your cognitive ability is only a portion of the equation. Only a portion. It can only take you so far to know things. It's when you put those things into practice, applied knowledge, that it really counts, that you really get to see what that knowledge can do for you, what that knowledge can do in and as you. That only comes from actually living it. The upside of all knowing is being able to actualize the knowledge. The upside of all knowing is being able to actualize that knowledge. So, for example, knowing how to play the piano is not what creates beautiful music. It's actually playing the piano, actually practicing how to play the piano, getting skilled at putting your fingers on the right keys as you read music, as you play in community. That's what creates beautiful music. So saying I know how to play the piano doesn't mean as much as actually, and I'm playing it now. I know how to play, and I'm living playing the piano. And the more practiced I am, the more fluid is my playing, the more on tempo, the fewer mistakes, the better able I am to read the music, especially when the music's complicated or sophisticated, or when I'm playing in sophisticated situations, like, well, you wouldn't have a piano in a marching band, but in a symphony, in a concert, in a band. That's knowledge put into power. That's embodied knowledge that turns into practice. So there's this thing where we say one thing and we do something else. I say this, but I'm actually this. There's a word for that. It's called disingenuous. It's not as sincere. It's not as honest. It's about giving a false appearance. This is who I am in the front of the curtain, and behind the curtain, I'm actually someone else. And this has been an interesting dance for me because I know there are times in my life where I was wearing masks. I talk about it in the book, where I am putting on masks in order to feel like I belong and like I'm safe in certain environments. I used to do that, especially in corporate America. The conditioning I had was to never let them see you sweat. So even though there was sweat inside me and I was never feeling safe and always feeling like a little bit imposter syndrome, or that they were going to learn that I didn't know everything and that was going to cost me my job and my reputation and all this thing. So I wore masks and they were disingenuous. I was one thing on the outside and something very different on the inside. And part of that's protection, and there's nothing wrong with that. We have to be what we need to be in different environments in order to survive. And now I'm talking about, can we lift up to a higher vantage point and learn, teach ourselves, be ourselves as thriving individuals? So the way I thrive now, the way I live my teachings, like I'm not learning it and not doing it. That's a contradiction. A contradiction in terms is knowing something and not doing it. Disingenuous, similar. Contradiction, it's like a reversal. situations that are opposed to one another, declaring publicly that you're environmentalist, but never, ever, ever doing anything to recycle, never participating in any cleanups around you, never worrying about how you're using electricity or water. So in our lives, in your life, in my life, where are we disingenuous with ourselves? The things we tell ourselves we're going to do and we never get done. Boy, do I have a list of those. I look at that. I've been asking this question. How am I tolerating myself not being who and what I want to be, who and what I declare I'm growing into? Without judgment, without blame, without shame, without punishment. Enough of the self-recrimination. Enough of being the judge, jury, jailer, executioner of yourself. Can you look at yourself with love and say, I wonder why I'm not getting this done? Can you love yourself for the umpteenth time that you still don't get it done? For me, it's losing that last 10 pounds. Releasing. I'm going to say releasing. I don't say losing anymore because I don't like losing things, so I try to hold on to them. And so metaphorically, metaphysically, with that belief system in me, it could be hard to release weight. Get it? Couple different teachings are coming at you all at once here. I hope you're allowing them to be absorbed rather than bouncing off. So in this idea of how am I being what I intend to be? How am I living it? How am I breathing it? How am I declaring it publicly and declaring it internally where no one knows what's going on at all but me? So I know and believe that in order for me to have a better life, I have to take action toward that better life. I can't just desire it and wonder when it's going to plunk down in my lap. Been there, done that. Didn't serve me. Not good or bad. It just didn't serve me to go where I wanted to go. So when I'm really committed to living the truth of what I declare, I have to take action. I have to feel it. I have to move through it. I have to learn it. I have to do it. I have to be it. Sit in it. Be it. So that it becomes second nature. Being it is about it becoming second nature. That's embodiment to the nth degree. That's embodiment that is like the way you brush your teeth, the route you drive to work, the things that you do that are second nature. You never have to think about them ever. You just do them. Those things are what I would call embodied knowledge. You learned how to do it. One time you were a novice. You got better. You got to the advanced, intermediate. You went through intermediate, and then you went to advanced, and then you went to mastery. That's what we're talking about. So what is this? Yes, and are you living it? So I just wanted to share a couple of ways that I live it. And living it has to take on a unique to you, a personalized variation on the theme. There is no, I haven't found one at least. I won't say there isn't one. I haven't found a one size fits all. I know that my book is awesome. I've gotten great feedback. It's won 6 awards. Lots of people pick it up and don't put it down, and they're changing their lives from it. I love that. And it's not for everyone, or it's not the only thing for everyone. It wasn't the only thing for me. If you saw my office, you'd see mountains of books, many of them spiritual, from all different religious practices and fields, and old pagan stuff and new Methodist stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff here. So I'm not preaching a one size fits all. I'm offering options for you to dance with and decide, yeah, this is the shizzle for me, that not so much. So when I think about, yes, and am I living it? How am I living what I teach? How am I living it? How is it coming out of me? How is it being anchored in me? Like, what's my anchor mechanism? So that this high vibration allows me to float through every situation in my life, smooth sailing through every situation. So here are some of my examples. And you'll notice there are times when I've had plenty of money, and there were times when I didn't. I haven't. And so I have things on both spectrum, things that I can do that cost me barely anything, and things that people might find expensive, exorbitant, luxurious. Okay, so there's physical stuff that I do for my body. So to embody a spiritual practice, we have to take care of the body as a temple. It's not the church we go to worship. It's this physical body that actually gets you to the church to worship, that is your temple, is your penultimate temple, your number one temple. You cannot be in communion, in relationship with the divine, when the physical being that you are is decrepit. That's not the demonstration of the divine in action. So taking care of the physical body. So I talk to nutritionists to write my my nutritional value, what I'm serving to my body to keep it healthy. And it has changed over time. And especially dealing with the disability, that the things I need to shift and change and trying a whole new red light therapy right now, to see if that can even get me further into being able to leverage this body for more than I can do right now. So I use aromatherapy. I love essential oils. I know the science of them, the olfactory system, and what it contributes to my mental health, my physical health, my spiritual health. I use essential oils that I can ingest, so they're ingestible. I love peppermint for when my stomach's upset. And I also use essential oils for aromatherapy. I use sound healing. I love going to Ngong Avatar, shouting out to my dear friend Ngong Avatar, Lynn, Arjan Lynn, beautiful, beautiful, talented Gong Avatar, who actually came to my intensive care unit when I was there and gave me sound baths to help my healing start right away. I was in a coma, so I didn't know, but I was told that they even booted her out. But Arjan Lynn was there to serve me in the first days after the brain hemorrhage, which is a truly wonderful gift. And if you haven't explored sound healing therapy, I encourage and invite you to do so. It is just spectacular. I do movement, yoga. I sometimes just sit in my bed and do little shakes. I do all kinds of movement just to get some energy moving through my body, move the stuck energy. Obviously, as a spiritual teacher, spiritual understanding and deepening my perspective of who I am in various situations, seeing myself, becoming more of the true me, I see spiritual counselors, and I have for 2 decades. And I like finding a spiritual counselor and working with them through a period of time until I feel like, okay, I've graduated. Now I need someone for this kind of work. I love the counselor that I'm seeing right now. She's in North Carolina. I'm in California. So obviously we're doing things remotely, although I got a chance to meet her just recently, very personally. So I encourage and invite you to check out where you might benefit from having someone to talk to, someone who can have a vantage point that's not the same as yours, an objective view that might help you interpret what's going on, interpret the situations, not just experience them, but understand what they've come to show you, for you, from you, to you. I go into meditation several times a day, short ones, long ones, guided ones, just breathing, meditation is my go-to. It's my number one tool. You'll hear me talk about it all the time. I love nature. I love being in nature with people. I love being in nature by myself. It's like a place where I connect to my higher self and the divine. No, hands down. I can feel it. I can feel it when I walk out on my porch and I have a conversation with the tree. Off the edge of my porch, there's this beautiful tree, and in the summertime, it blooms magnificently. It drops those blooms, and I have a lot to clean up on my porch, and it is exquisite. And I love to talk to it and thank it for the beauty it's contributing to my life. And I love to experience its different seasons. And I talk to it when it has no leaves. I bless it when the leaves are coming back. And man, oh man, do I stand there and take pictures when it's blooming, those beautiful pink blossoms. So time in nature. I take courses. I still go to retreats. I still work with spiritual avatars who can help me go to the next level. So I'm never done. Even a wise being is still capable of plussing up what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, when they're doing it. Tools, the same tool, the same wrench for a mechanic can be used in lots of different situations to do lots of different things. And learning the next thing to do with that same wrench can change that mechanic's ability and wisdom for difficult circumstances when the wrench is needed, and so is the mechanic. And then, of course, I invest time in living fun and enthusiasm. Yes, I talk about happiness. I talk about joy. Well, how are you living that? How are you living and expressing joy? So for me, one of my number one things is laughter. So I still go to laughter yoga. And when I can't go in the physical, I get on my phone, and I get on this laughter meditation group international phone call. It's totally fun. All we do is laugh for 20 minutes. It's just laughing, no talking, no cognitive mind, just laughing and listening to other people laugh. And it's awesome. I love traveling, especially when I do cultural immersion. My favorite thing to do when I'm traveling is visit old churches and sacred sites. I've got a big trip coming up. I'll talk to you about that later, about sacred sites in Europe. I love drumming. Drumming is one of the things I've started to rehab this right hand and right side, and synchronicity in that. And so I love going to drumming circles, full moon drumming circles on the beach. I take walks at the lake. I spend time with friends. All of these things are you living it? So the question is, perhaps you should take out a piece of paper and write down, what are the principles and practices that you know, and what are the principles and practices that you embody? And where there's a gap, close the gap. How can you close that gap for yourself, for your own healing, for your own personal growth and development, for your own ascension, like ascension into your higher self, ascension into higher vibration living, ascension into more ease, peace, and grace, ascension into more compassion, into more unconditional love toward yourself and toward the world and the people of the world, in the world. Yes, you know it. And are you living it? Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is not power. Power really comes from knowledge put into action. And that's what I call wisdom. Wise beings have seen the knowledge put into practice in many different situations, many different dynamics, all kinds of challenges, and they know that they know that they know, to quote Oprah, at a deeper level How do they know that they know that they know? Because they are living it, they are being it, they are walking it, they are doing more than just talking it. That's my invitation to you. If you want to create a different life, you have to be different in that life. That's living that different you. Come on over to the Bliss Collective. One of the things that we offer every month is a free 7-day Grow in Self-Mastery, Flow into Bliss challenge to have more ease, peace, and joy. The challenge is actually living it. It gives you some practices that you can put into action every day for 7 days that help you see yourself evolving into a lighter, higher vibration being, and then give you opportunities to do it, to be it, by putting it into practice. Our next challenge begins in May 22nd. You can check it out on tinyurl.com/self-mastery challenge. tinyurl.com/self-mastery challenge. Come on in, check into yourself, see how well you're actually putting things into practice from your head into your full-bodied being it. That's it for today's Hump Day Happy Chat. I always close with the Karanayametta Sutta, the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. I hope you're feeling it in your bones. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. Safety starts with you and your own skin. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. Your true nature is peace, love, joy, and freedom. Awaken to that with your mental capacity and then be it with your whole self. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature, and may all beings be free. Free to be them, their true selves. Many blessings. Thank you for joining me. I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepard, signing off from the Hartley Center and this week's Hump Day Happy Chat. Many blessings to you. Thanks for joining. Come back and see me, and please share. Share, share, share.